Okay, so I've been doing a bit. I'm just gonna play it. I've been doing a bit of coding recently, and this is what I've come up with. So if you actually go to the Coding Trains YouTube channel, website, whatever you want to do, they've got plenty of stuff. They last year, 2021, went through Seek functionality, and then they also went through Arrive functionality. So Arrive being, as you can see, the little triangle is reaching its destination but slowing down as it approaches its destination, which is the middle of the square. Oh, that's interesting coffee. And that is something that I really kind of wanted to include in here. So I guess I didn't need to include this functionality, but it makes it makes it flow a little better, makes it look a little cleaner in terms of uh, the organism. It makes it look more realistic, I guess. You slow down when you are approaching what you want in many cases. So I'm going to have this functionality for my when it drinks, when it goes to the pond. Um, I will not have it for when it needs to eat or when it needs to get health. That will still be the seek function. I haven't shown code in a while. And I forget if I think last time I showed that I have multiple different tabs open now, which is something new to me. Um, but what I have added this functionality do, 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 is within vehicle, and I need to rename it to actually be my own thing. That's what the coding train names its class. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with it. Let's see, but it is this arrive function. So it is basically saying once you're within a certain radius of your destination, you are going to apply a force. Um, force set mag. I believe this force is saying when you initially reach it, you will apply zero force as you reach R, but then once you reach zero, once you reach your destination, you will be applying um, the your maximum force, which in this case you set it to max speed, so it slows down and comes to a stop, um, which is very nice. It's doing its job, but obviously, just watching this over and over again is not terribly exciting. So we're going to go through two iterations. I then threw this in. I'm trying to. So database will. Here's the array. Database will eventually hold a lot of data, hopefully, and these classes will truly just be classes, and the data will come from database, but we will see. What I did here is basically um, they all are have this arrive functionality, but once they actually reach the pond, they respawn at a certain point. Their x and y coordinates suddenly become a random number. Where do I have that? I have that somewhere. There we go. Respawn. If this respawn is true, this position x equals width divide. That's not what it's actually doing. If I get rid of this, does it still do the same thing? Yeah, so that's not what was doing it. Is it in Sketch? There you go. If vehicle respawn is true, the new position, its new x position is random somewhere between 40 and 760 plus random negative 40 to 40 times I. And each iteration is a different I starting at 0. Um, so that is the functionality there. And this was just because I wanted to see as many possible I guess, successful attempts of arrive as I could, and this was a way to do it. So if they're arriving, they are arriving. But let's go one step further, and I've only done one step further. In this, yeah, you know what? Let's save. Because I didn't need that extra code. And so this is seek, arrive, seek food, seek health, arrive, and drink, which is technically not anything yet, all combined into one. This is kind of where I got at the end of the last time I picked this up and tried to do arrays, or I tried to do coding, except everything was a square. Now everything's triangle. But this is where I wanted to get back to, because the next iterations of my code will include chasing, hopefully, and fleeing, and that is what I hope to do. I will have to install edges so that if they go out of what we are viewing right now to the top, they will show up at the bottom, and they can continue going, kind of like your Pac-Man, kind of like your asteroids, because when you have a flee function, they will run away from it, whatever it's running away from, for eternity. You can see, and it's very sad, because my last code video that I showed with squares was them behaving differently during times of contentness, and as you can see, when these get content, they do nothing. So it's actually very sad for me to see, but this is what I wanted. Also, I have not coded for the pond or the health or the food to not spawn over top of the scoreboard, but I wanted to keep the scoreboard underneath everything so I could still see where the pond was, still see where the food was, and I don't really care about the scoreboard. As you can see, they can go into negative health, so I've not included death at this point. I will to an extent, but I have to tweak some things. Right now, they consider health the least important factor. I think last time I included health into my array, into my code. It was the most important factor, that being if you're hungry, if you're thirsty, and if you're hurt, you will go towards health first. You will not go towards the pond first. You will not go towards your food first. You will prioritize health. Right now, they prioritize the pond, then they prioritize food, then they prioritize health. So it's a little unfair for me to introduce death when they don't even care about it, really. But yeah, this is where I am in the next step. So this was arrive, essentially. This was all about the pond, getting it to have that nice slowdown in the pond. Which actually, hold on, they're not slowing down as much as I thought they would. Yeah, I guess they are. They're slowing down a little bit. I'm going to pond W140, 140. Let's see, arrive. Target this position R. I'll do 140, although it's wrong. Like, technically it shouldn't slow down that soon before a pond. Now it's slowing down. You can see it. You can see it slow down. Did I do something else where they don't have to go to the middle of the pond? I may have done something else where they don't have to go to the middle of the pond. Which is fine. It actually makes it nicer for me. But yeah, I guess they slow down. They slow down when they enter the pond. So that's it. I mean, that's what I wanted to show. But then I also did this extra little bit because I had already shown it before just with squares, and now I'm showing it with triangles. So how about that? We are getting to the point where, oh my goodness, yes. So life, I do have to fix that. When it's divisible, perfectly divisible by 60, it just goes. And that's a glitch. I'll have to figure that out. Unless he is truly, uh, oh yeah, he's just gonna continually have to eat bandages until he's healed. That's what you do. You actually drink straight rubbing alcohol, and then you're healed. Um, or hand sanitizer, and then you're healed. No, it's fine. But that's this step. Next step will be again chasing, fleeing, hopefully. And that, oh, you can see. So right now, one of their what am I trying to say, categories, either hunger or thirst, was completely divisible by 60, and it just continued to count down in life, and I need to figure out how to stop that from happening, because that's frustrating. It's annoying. um, I need it to only count down once if it's at that number, but I'll figure that out. But I love the new motion that these provide. I love the different defining the different types of motion. Flee, seek, and pursue. Not seek, flee and pursue will also introduce new types of motion, although it'll be slightly similar to what you're seeing right now. They will just involve. Flee will have obviously a negative effect to basically seek. It will say, what am I trying to, what's my target? Target being the thing it's scared of, and then I will just run away from it as fast as possible. But pursue will introduce a little bit of looking into the future, and there's a good way of saying that, and I have forgotten it. Uh, but I'll figure it out right after I'm done with this video, of course. We are also getting to the point, and I've let this go on for a while, because this soon I will let my videos go on for maybe 5 minutes past, even when I speak, which you're welcome. Um, and I'll probably throw on some lo-fi or something. That's what I've been using while I've been coding, so why not? I don't know if I'll be able to remember all the songs in the lo-fi that I include, but I'll do my best. And because the purpose of my code has always been, this type of code has always been to see if I can mimic a type of behavior, whether individual behavior or group population behavior, that kind of mimics something that happens in nature, happens naturally, even though I didn't try to code it. And I've given the example of hoarding, which, I mean, I guess technically I have the example of zombies, because they are very dead. Um, but until until oh, sorry, not until then, sorry. I will probably start doing that in some videos shortly, because once I've got pursue and flee, I'm going to want to watch them for about 5 minutes to see how they react, how they choose their targets, how they define things, because it will be very minute sometimes how the choices are made. Like, they might choose to pursue something, but if they're not choosing to pursue the closest individual, then I need to notice that first and foremost, and then I need to correct that. But that might take a while to figure out that they're not chasing the closest individual or fleeing from the closest individual. They might be choosing just any individual within the array to run from, and I don't want that. I want them to run from, realistically, if you're scared, you run from the closest thing that is scaring you. And that closest thing can change. If I don't know, if you're running from a tiger and a panther and you know the tiger's a decent way away now, and a panther jumps out at you, are now running from a panther. Like, you are no longer running away from a tiger if it means you're running towards a panther. You are now running away from a panther because that is the most imminent threat. In the same sense, if you've got a hamburger on your plate, you don't go and reach over to your friend's plate and eat their hamburger because, well, there are many social reasons why you don't do that. But on top of that, your hamburger is the closest to you. You have no reason to expend the energy. Spend the energy or expel the energy? I think I said expend, which I don't think is a word. Spend the energy to reach over and grab a hamburger that's further away. You grab your hamburger. Um, so stuff like that the code doesn't naturally know that I need to make sure it registers. But until then, I don't know when I'm going to get around to being able to code pursue and flee. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, week, month, year, millennium. Yeah, I'll see you next millennium. And I don't know, I can enjoy something. Go find something you enjoy and do it. And don't suddenly die like square number 4. Daggone you, square number 4. You're gonna die quicker than. Oh no, you're both dying at the same amount. You know, when you're casually just. Okay, wait a minute. If this gets to 15, I think this will stop. Yeah, okay. 16. 16 it stops because it's above 15. But this, okay. So it truly is just stuck on a number completely divisible by 60. Oh, that's annoying. I'll figure out how to do that someday. And in the meantime, yeah, this is it. This is my code so far. Ta-da! Next one's going to be flee and pursue. That's it.